Million Movies podcast is here for a wonderful breakdown of apparently one of my most favoriteest things in the world that I had no idea, biopics. Let's talk about movies made about things that are real. I've got a list.
I've actually got a list. I've got a list.
I'm going to tell you. Guys, this was I got really high last night, made show notes, but I had the podcast. It was just for me. Not even Matt understands what happened last night. So I'm so excited to get into all this mania, all this craziness. I kind of want to just let's start general. Let's start.
I tried. Okay, first of all, I think a lot of times when people think of biopics, they think music.
Yes, 100%.
Right, and I tried to limit it to. I think I have one on there.
Mm-hmm.
But there are more that I like. But what is your favorite music biopic? Bohemian Rhapsody.
I love this question. I'm going to go with The Doors, and for me, it covers so many topics that we're going to talk about. But for me, it was my first kind of impression on Jim Morrison, one of my early Oliver Stone movies. It's insane. It's ridiculous. It's wildly inaccurate. Let's be clear on that straight up. Yeah, that's kind of an Oliver Stone thing. I guess I could have said JFK right here too, but I just love that idea.
Well, kind of
music, but I just love that idea that there was such a buy-in to that character that that's one of the biggest things. You have to buy into being who that person is, and you have to believe that person is who that is. Like Jim Carrey in Man on the Moon. Like if you commit all the way, I'm probably going to be there for you. And The Doors was the most committed Valkyrie.
Now here's a question.
Yes.
At what point does it become a biopic instead of just a slice of life about a person? Because like the Steve Jobs one, it's about 3 afternoons.
We're not talking about the Ashton Kutcher one.
No. But like Pirates of Silicon Valley covered him from college until he became CEO the second time, right? So I think like that's more of a biopic than the one with Fassbender because, that's 3 moments. It's 3 moments, right?
Sure, but I believe whoever made the argument was these 3 moments
kind of defined him.
Yeah.
Right. No, I get that. But like, would Walk the Line be Walk the Line if it was only him at San Quentin?
Right. No.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
So
I think there has to be an evolution of that.
So I have 2. I actually have 2 on my list, 2 music ones.
Mm-hmm.
The first one I ever saw, La Bamba.
Yep, La Bamba is definitely. Yep.
I love La Bamba, and it almost feels like either that or Great Balls of Fire kind of created the modern biopic.
Ooh, okay.
Probably that more. But the ending of La Bamba still gets to me. Where they're playing Sleepwalk and he's at the Richie.
Yeah.
And the second one's Elvis, the Baz Luhrmann production. I love every frame of this giant crazy movie. Every frame.
Interesting. I do not agree with that.
Of course not, because it's fun. And it's not a murder mystery with people smoking all the time. I used to not like movies like this, right? And this is the only Baz Luhrmann movie I've ever actually really enjoyed. And I think it's because when you think of Elvis, you think of someone who's larger than life, and then you think of his final days in Vegas. And Vegas is very big, very bright, very showy, and very artificial. And when watching that movie, I see Tom Hanks not being Tom Hanks. I see him having fun. And he's actually one of my favorite things about it. I love him in this movie.
Yeah, I'm Cruise versus Hanks anyhow, so that may taint my viewpoint. I was always fascinated by
Austin. You create all of these weird rules for yourself where it's like, I have to like Tom Cruise and not Tom Hanks. You can like them both. You're aware of that, right?
Nope. I'm Team Cruise. Bringing it home. Also,
this isn't fucking Twilight. You can like both of them.
Maybe I can like both of them in Twilight. You're not here to judge me. What's your favorite sub?
That's a straw man. We're not. Oh my god. Oh my
What's
god.
your favorite sub genre of these pictures? Do you like the historical? Are you a music guy? Is that your favorite? Sports, political, any of those?
So I love the political ones.
Yep.
Love the political ones.
Talk to me.
But I actually think I like the ones that are political, but we can't use the real people because it's kind of litigious.
Ooh.
Like my favorite political movie is Primary Colors, which is it's about Clinton running for office in '92.
Right.
But it's totally not about Clinton running for office, right? I kind of like that where you get a little bit of the fiction, but it's like we know what we're talking about here. Something like Casino could be considered a biopic.
Right. Yep. Yeah, Scorsese stuff came
or
up
Tombstone.
In this.
Tombstone. Yeah, there's a lot of Scorsese actually. Yeah, a lot.
I could get down on Tombstone for that as well. Or would Wyatt Earp be more appropriate? Ooh, Wyatt Earp versus Tombstone. Also, I like both of those films, so I am not going to be on team either.
Okay, so Billy shot Tombstone, so I'm team Tombstone.
Understandable.
But and for little things like there's a lot of stuff in that movie that isn't exactly correct, but like kind of is in order to tell the story in a coherent way.
Yep.
Like they take out the whole year after the OK Corral where they're in court. You know?
Yeah, that'd have been a different thing. You could have brought Aaron Sorkin in for that one.
Right. But like little things like Ringo being found dead in that clearing next like some trees in that clearing area.
Mm-hmm.
That happened. They don't think Doc was there, but they don't know. The official ruling was that it was a suicide, but they don't know. But there are little moments in that movie where, like in court, Wyatt Earp said that as he was walking to the OK Corral, as he turned the corner, he took the gun and put it in his front coat pocket. It's something that was said in court. And when you watch Tombstone, as he turns the corner, Kurt Russell takes the gun and he puts it in his front coat pocket, not in the holster or anything. He puts it in his coat pocket, which shows he's done his research because this was his baby, right? It shows, oh, he knows that detail. So everything they're omitting, they're having to do so in order to tell a story, right? But it's more accurate than it isn't, you know? But I like stuff like The Founder. You know, I think The Founder is incredible. It's one of his best performances.
Yep.
But I like movies that you kind of forget are biopics, like Catch Me If You Can. Everyone forgets this is a real story. You're even Pain and Gain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Halfway through when it cuts to The Rock running with the cocaine.
Wolf of Wall Street. You know, I like those where it's so crazy you forget.
Right.
Oh no, this actually happened. And then, you know, there's some that have grown past them being considered a biopic, like Schindler's List, you know?
Never seen that. Let's talk about Schindler's List a little bit.
You've never seen Schindler's List.
Never have. I accept all responsibility for that, whatever particular reason. That's just it never was a reason that I never saw. It was just too heavy for me at the time.
So tell me what you think about Israel right now.
Watch yourself. Watch it. Hey,
you knocked out of that one real fast.
Thank you. No, thank you. I plead the Fifth Amendment on that one. Is 8 Mile Purple Rain?
Yeah.
Kind of is, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you a Purple Rain guy?
No. I'm not.
I'm not a Prince guy, so I didn't know. You know, I'm
a very limited Prince guy. I've actually got 2 on my list that are by the same writing team.
Oh, I like that. Once you learn how to do it, maybe you can go back to the well again.
Ed Wood.
Mm-hmm.
And Dolomite Is My Name.
Oh yeah, I remember that movie.
Dolomite Is My Name is one of the most inspirational movies I've ever seen in my life. I love every frame of that thing.
Never got me hooked. Never.
And I'm going to give you my last 2 on my list.
Please do.
Wolf of Wall Street and Chaplin.
Oh yes, Robert De Niro or Robert Downey Jr. at his Robert Downey Jr.-ish.
Is it?
As far as the human being, the crazy Robert Downey Jr. days. That was
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, kind of all wrapped up in there. I mean, he wasn't like breaking into houses and passing out on couches at that point, but
But this is probably his high point before Iron Man,
agreed
right?
for
Yeah.
sure, for sure. One of the you said Walk the Line earlier. I remember back in 2005, it was a big to do that we had. I don't know, two of the biggest biopics I feel like that we
Yeah.
had, and Walk the Line and Capote,
But nobody remembers Capote.
which is insane to me because that may be
It's
Seymour
because
Hoffman's best,
there were two movies about Truman Capote around the same time.
and they were both actually pretty good.
Yes, but Walk the Line has a lot of really good music, and that's gonna
Sure.
win out.
That's funny too. We were talking about music stuff. They've made a lot of biopics without rights to music, and they have always been bad. Like, has there ever been one that you don't have the rights to the music, other than maybe the Andre 3000 one that he did for Jimi Hendrix, that has been good?
I did not even see that.
It's Andre 3000 playing Jimi Hendrix. Trust me, it was pretty good. But again, they just didn't have the music rights to the thing, so it's like,
Why would you do that?
I don't know. Seems weird, right?
Yeah.
But it happens. I mean, I can't think of.
I actually just got an invite for an early screening of the new Timothy Chalamet Bob Dylan movie.
Ooh, very nice.
I don't know if I'm gonna go. I'll see.
I'm interested. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. Did you ever, speaking of Bob Dylan, did you ever see Be Here Now or I'm Here
No,
Now?
no,
That one with like four different people playing Bob Dylan?
I did not.
Do you like that idea in general? Like just, being able to, in different phases of a person's life, having a different actor doing that?
Um, kind of. I think it might work better as a mini series, instead of a
Netflix.
movie.
Yep.
Because I think as a movie, it kind of throws you out of the narrative a bit. But if you watch one episode and then come back the next week and it's like, okay, we're picking up 5 years later with a different actor, I think it's a little easier to get into. But because, I just like to stick with, it's easier to stay emotionally connected, I think, to one person.
I got you. Do you have a favorite, or in this case, not favorite, hokey one that you might like The Blind Side, for example?
Mm. Uh, I mean, how do we describe hokey? Like,
Well, I mean, I feel like that was, well, first of all, we've learned that wasn't the real story anyhow. But just like that Hollywood ending, that's what you're working for, biopic kind of thing. Like things are wonderful. We did this.
I don't
Life can be that way.
know.
Don't get me wrong, but I mean, like The Blind Side was like they played up that schmaltzy stuff at the end.
Um, I don't think so.
I don't either. I just let him ask.
Did you ever see Valkyrie?
I did. Yes. I've never seen a movie more where I go, man, that really should have been the native language,
Yeah. Although, no one complains when, people are doing Julius Caesar in an English accent, right?
Agreed.
But I love that movie, and I think something about it is really funny. After they try to kill Adolf Hitler,
Yes.
and they're told they have not succeeded, you never see Hitler again. You only hear about him over the radio.
Mm-hmm.
And that he's doing just fine.
Sure.
And I think they were kind of making a little bit of a point with that.
A wink, wink. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a little bit, a little bit. I think that one. I don't know if that one's hokey. The accent thing is tough for everyone to get around, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think the rest of the film, like, kind of more than makes up for it. And I think that one is should be better remembered because no one remembers that one. That's a shame.
Just like what was that Last Samurai movie? Nobody remembers that one either.
Okay. I remember The Last Samurai because there's a class at USC where you studied one movie all year, but you didn't know what it was until the first day of class. So, like, some people got adaptation, And then the next semester, people got Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. So you never knew.
Wow.
And I had not seen Last Samurai because it hadn't come out yet. No, it had just come out. It had just come out. And I walked into class and it was The Last Samurai. And the first day we had our lecture and then we watched the movie. And then I spent 15 weeks going over how they made every inch of that movie.
Right.
The screenwriter came in. The only person who basically didn't come in was Tom Cruise.
Was TC, of course.
Right. The visual effects supervisor came in and basically spilled like 30 years of tea for us, wow. Where he's like, hey, did you know when making this movie, these two people had they got into a physical fight on set and one of them threw the other one onto a car. And then the next day they came back and they both had restraining orders against each other. And they're in the last half of the movie together. Nice. So the last half of the movie split screen.
Oh my God.
Or they said some stuff I can't say. No, like I know, like we'll talk about it after this, after we're done. But they literally said some stuff that, you know, I don't want to say.
Right.
But it by the end of that semester, I was so sick of that movie.
God, I can imagine.
That I took the final, and after everybody was done, they said, "Okay, guys, we're gonna watch the movie one last time." And I got 4 minutes in, and I looked to my buddy Sam. I said, "I'll see you later tonight. I'm done." And I just walked out. I walked out. I couldn't do it again. I could not keep watching that movie. That one to me gets a little hokey, like at the end where it's like, tell me how he died. And he goes, I will tell you how he lived. All right.
Since we voted it the best movie of the 2010s, we can give a little time to The Social Network. Been a while since that flick.
Yeah, and the funny thing about that is, as good as that movie is, it's probably covered the least interesting aspect of his life now.
Yep.
Because it's like, hey, I'd love to know more about, like, you know, how he treats people now and AI and like why he's, you know, building giant underground bunkers with its own like police force and stuff, you know.
Is a actor like Jesse Eisenberg kind of perfect to do these kind of things? I take, for example, this movie, plus he did The End of the World, which was the movie about the writer that I can't think of his name right now. Like, it has to be a character actor of some kind of Philip Seymour Hoffman. It's just almost impossible to have like a really big name person playing this character because they never actually are the character. And I'm gonna me and TC, lots of love, and I loved American Made, but he was never that guy. Like, it never was always Tom Cruise.
He felt a little like Jack Reacher in that movie.
Yes, 100%. Yep. But never. But
man, I love that
character
movie.
that he's playing.
Oh, that's another one. Oh, we got to talk about Blow. Oh man, that might be my favorite one.
Yeah, that's Johnny at his apex.
And the fact that was the last one that we got from Demi.
Right.
The second Demi.
Yeah.
That was a shame. Man, I love that movie.
Well, I don't want to go to the other side of the spectrum, but I'm going to right now. Do you remember that time they made that movie about Freddie Mercury that I'm not going to name that name, and the editor couldn't even figure out how to edit a simple scene where 3 people were talking?
Okay, first of all, that editor, he's a fantastic editor, and he's a fantastic he's a great director, and he's a fantastic composer. But there are a lot of issues on set. A lot of issues, right?
Well, when you have a main actor who probably is not the best actor in the whole wide world, no offense.
And also, don't forget the director got kicked off the movie.
That wasn't great either.
And the guy who they got to fill in did the Elton John movie. There were way too many cooks in that kitchen. Personally, I've been saying this for years. I would have loved to have seen Bill Hader play him.
Okay.
If you watch the Skeleton Twins,
I don't hate that.
You'll get it. Like, yep. I think he would have killed as Freddie Mercury. I do love like the fact that for that movie they got Mark Martell to do Freddie's voice. I love that because Mark Martell is like a clone of Freddie Mercury. But my question is, why are we spending 20 minutes showing us
Yes.
a sequence that we could literally watch on YouTube and watch the real thing?
Yep.
It's 20 minutes. And let's also not forget, um, we don't talk about his decline afterwards. We don't see that. And if you want to talk about a messed up timeline, the timeline of real events in that movie is completely wrong.
Yeah.
Completely.
That's insanity. And that kind of points to another thing too. Sometimes that they do that with biopics. Like they completely give you this wrong story about a person, and then for the rest of the time, people just think that's their story, but it just had to like a 3-arc movie structure.
Did you ever see the Bobby Darin one, Beyond the Sea, with everyone's favorite actor, Kevin Spacey?
Nope, missed out on that one.
You should check that out. That's an odd duck.
Actually, there's a few odd ducks on my list here as well. I've gotten down to the part where my notes say Jesus, Mary, and heaven. Again, I've waited this long to say, hey, do you remember that? I'm going to give you a threesome. Give me your opinion on all three. Are you ready? Some really, really jacked up movies about really jacked up people. I've got Bernie.
I love Bernie.
Extremely Wicked. Shocking. That one.
Which one's that?
Extremely Weird. The one that.
Oh,
yeah. See,
okay. First of all, it's a terrible title because I can never remember.
Obviously, I still can't get it.
That one's weird because, if you know anything about him going in, like everything doesn't make sense
right
at the beginning. That one was fine, but I've never revisited it. Bernie, I watched it like when it first came out on video or whatever, and I think I watched it like 3 times that week. I love Bernie, and I don't know why more people haven't seen it. So you would, after that, you think Jack Black would have had that kind of stuff just thrown at him.
Yep. And then the threesome, to add to the end of that, the zone of interest. If that wasn't your jacked up threesome, I don't know what to tell you. Those 3 were rough. That was not a comedy, my friend. Not a comedy at all. Is there? Oh, you know what? Before we get out, we're almost done here, but I just want to give a shout out to Grand Theft Parsons. Johnny Knoxville did good in the movie. That shit was hilarious. And you know what? Adam Kay might be the best director of these movies. He has got 3 in his bank that are untouchable.
I love his Dick Cheney movie.
Yep.
I love it. The part where Christian Bale turns to the camera at the end, he's like, what'd you expect me to do? You expect me to do this? He's just like, grow up.
My notes say they got Christian fucking Bale to play Dick fucking Cheney. Yeah. And it's the fact that just happened is crazy.
Can we mention that there's in the same vein as Cheney, there's a biopic with huge actors by a huge director that everyone has forgotten existed.
Oh, what is this now?
W.
Oh, yes. Josh Brolin, baby.
Right. And Richard Dreyfuss is Dick Cheney, where he basically explains to everyone why we went into Afghanistan. He's like, guys, this is about the oil. We go in now and we've set our country up for the next 2 generations. And you're like, I remember watching that in the theater and just thinking, if they had just told the American people this, as opposed to yellow cake and all that kind of stuff, I think we would have taken that better, as opposed to I'd rather hear the harsh truth than a lie.
Yep. For sure.
It's like, we have to go into Afghanistan because the Saudis hurt us. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
That don't make no sense. And then it's like, hey, guys, we need oil for the next 100 years. And it's like, oh, that's terrible, but at least you're not lying to me.
Sure.
I still don't agree with it.
We're going Mount Rushmore. Let's see if we can do this. I need 4 from you. I'm going to give you 4. What are you, just in general, 4 favorite, 4 best, however you want to do it. Mount Rushmore, biopics, go.
This is tough.
Yes, it's impossible.
Tough.
Yep.
Ed Wood.
Yep.
Catch Me If You Can.
Okay.
The Dick Cheney movie, was it just Dick? Or is it Cheney? What is it? VP.
Vice.
It's Vice. And just because I don't know if there's a movie I enjoy more than it, let's go Wolf of Wall Street.
Love it. Love it. All right. Here's what I've got coming back your way. I am going to take Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh
I
yeah.
hate the American public for forgetting this movie. I'll take umbrage with you
It
next
is
time.
it is 60 years old.
It still changed cinema.
Yes, but I'm saying people have forgotten about it because the people who saw it in the theater are dead.
That's true. That's fair. I didn't ask so that's my one. I got to ask you something real quick. Was Brian's Song the best TV movie ever made?
No, no, Jackson's An American Dream.
Okay, all right, fine. Number two, Confessions.
That also might be my favorite biopic. Actually, that might be my favorite biopic.
Ooh, nice.
Jackson's An American Dream.
Very nice. Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. That's my number two. Sam Rockwell.
But can that be considered that if we don't know if any of it's true?
See, that's another sub-genre of this thing. I like that observation, but I'm going to count it. And I'm also going to count Zodiac. Because, well, there's some things that are real and some things that are in there. But you know what?
That's not about a singular person. Biopic needs to be about a singular person.
You want me to do a singular person? That's fine. As far as I'm concerned, that was about the great actor. What's his name? John Carroll, being Zodiac. John Carroll Lynch. Fantastic. Anyway,
it's not about him.
Man on the Moon. That's going to be my number three. And you know what?
I have a question. Did that documentary hurt your opinion on that movie?
I don't give a shit. No, you see, people, I'm always going to err on the side of the artist. And if the artist is a maniac and an asshole, they shouldn't be that. But you know what? End result, what are you going to do? And number four, I am going to go with, you know what, I said it earlier, so I'll go back to The Doors. That's going to be my fourth one. It's The Doors. Val Kilmer, God damn it, that was crazy. That was amazing. Oliver Stone, The Doors, baby. All right, that is biopics. We got through most of my notes. There are some other random tidbits there, and
no, there's a lot, but
I'll let you guys read that for yourself. You'll have fun with that. So that means we have reached the end of this episode. A perfect one, if I do say so myself. Hopefully, George Clooney is listening right now. Georgie boy, I love you. You're the best. Give me a call sometime. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Matt, this is the time of the show where we tell everybody what to watch, what
Trap, watch Trap. I watched it. It is silly, it's ridiculous, but I loved every frame of it. Josh Hartnett, just there's a weird balance in this movie between being really good at just being a thriller and being really tense,
and
then just being the goofiest thing you've ever seen. And he plays that so perfectly. That kind of clunky, weird, written by an alien M. Night Shyamalan dialogue, I love in this because you have to kind of buy into it. But there's something about it that I really dug. I watched it already, and I'm going to watch it with my family tonight.
Very nice. Very nice. I got a twofer for you. My first one, which everybody should accept as a fantastic film. I've just seen it the first time. I'm very excited about it. Loved it. Adored it. Went through all the emotions. The Isle of Dogs, Wes Anderson's stop motion film. Maybe better than Fantastic Mr. Fox. And I don't say that very lightly. It was really, really, really good. Isle of Dogs, so much fun. Watch that. That's one I don't have to defend. This one I might have to. But you know what? I'm going to say Netflix's Trigger Warning was actually kind of good. I was pleasantly surprised. Jessica Alba was really, really good as an action star in the lead. My guy, Tone Bell, is hilarious every time they let him on screen. I feel like I'm a little crazy, but Trigger Warning, you're going to enjoy. Press play on that thing. I'm pleasantly surprised. That was good. Also, there was a Gene Hackman movie that I watched last night, but nobody gets my Gene Hackman recommendations unless you follow me on Bumble. Hit me up there, and I'll tell you all my Gene Hackman takes.
Well, I'll give you one for free. Watch one of his last movies, Heartbreakers. He's hilarious.
Yeah, you can never go wrong pressing play on a Gene Hackman film. Maybe the greatest American actor to ever live. We can debate that some other time because we are at the end of the episode. Matt, I ask you anything to tell people before we go?
See you.
I see you're still baffled by that Gene Hackman comment.